All right, obviously, Stevie P, we had some football played last night. We had an overtime game in St. Martin Parish. What are the scores you got from that?
Well, we had that 13-6 overtime win by St. Martinville last night over Breaux Bridge. Outstanding football game. Catholic High of New Iberia has kicked it into high gear. They roll past Laurelville, who's a good team, 41-14. Opelousas Catholic defeats West St. Mary 42-6, and Karen Crow really takes it to Opelousas. The Golden Bears win that one 69-0.
Yeah, Karen Crow is like they plugged in this year.
Yeah,
they plugged in good.
They're getting back to the Karen Crow of yesteryear, so to speak.
All right, before we jump into the rest of the high school football schedule, let's talk a little bit about professional football. Saints are in Philadelphia.
Dude, I don't, I really don't know what you can make a realistic argument that the Saints are going to be 3-3 after week 6, and the reason why is because they're playing an Eagle team who's really not playing well right now. I mean, they're struggling. Chip Kelly brought in all his own people and whatnot, and it's just not working. I mean, they're just not playing well. And then if they win that, of course that remains a big if, but if they win that, they get the Falcons, and you might say, well, why you want the Falcons? I mean, they're undefeated. Well, the biggest advantage that you can have in the NFL is playing at home on Thursday night. Now, that doesn't mean that the Thursday night home team is going to always win. Right. Look at last night. The visiting team won last night. But since Thursday night football began, the home team has won at least 11 times throughout the course of the season, and more than likely 12 or 13. So that's going to be a big advantage for the Saints.
All right.
On the other end of the equation, the Saints aren't exactly playing great football right now either. I mean, they played a Cowboy team that was all beat up, played without their 2 best offensive players, played without their best defensive player for 3 quarters, and yet they beat them in overtime, by 6 points. So the Saints are that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna pick the Eagles by a field goal, but I'm telling you, I have less of an opinion on this than any Saints game that I've ever thought about in the history of my life.
All right, in 15 seconds, give me your analysis. LSU, South Carolina.
Well, the South Carolina with a freshman quarterback, it was supposed to be a home game for them. It still is, but it's really a road game. LSU has Leonard Fournette. LSU is going to be undefeated going into the Alabama game. They're going to win.
And, they put that game on Big ESPN, on the real ESPN. Yes. Not one of those faux ESPN.
Right.
That's because they want the world to see Leonard Fournette. They know that the country's going to tune in.
That's exactly right. And they will.
Cajuns have Texas State.
Big game for Texas State. The Cajuns were 1-3 at this point last year, and they reeled off 6 straight. I understand. Yeah, it's a different year with different players. I'm just saying a win could kickstart them, and I do expect them to be the Texas State team, which has really struggled defensively this year.
All righty, high school football. What's the game Stevie P would be most interested in? Give me your top 3.
Well, the first one is Ascension Episcopal and Vermilion Catholic. The biggest game in Ascension Episcopal's young history. They're number 4 in the state. They're undefeated. Taking on a VC team which is 4-1 and ranked 5th in the state. So you got number 4 going up against number 5 tonight in Youngsville by far. Not only the biggest game I think in the area tonight, but one of the biggest games in the entire state. Second off, I like the Crowley and DeRitter. It's a big District 3 4A battle. I told people before the beginning of the year I expected Crowley to have one of their better teams of the year. They're undefeated right now at 5-0. DeRitter, the Dragons, have played very well as well. They're 4-1 on the year. And the other one to take up note, a big District 5 3A battle tonight, which will have Church Point hosting Port Barre. Church Point, about as good as people expected. They're 4-1, coming off of a great year last year. I think Port Barre surprised a few people this year. I think people expect them to be good, not quite this good. They're 4-1, getting a lot of votes in the top 10. So good for the Red Devils. So Church Point and Port Barre tonight will be a good one.
All right, on Town Square Air, what games do we have?
Well, I mentioned that Ascension Episcopal Vermilion Catholic game. That game will air on Talk Radio 960, talkradio960.com. We have the Acadiana Como game tonight, a big District 3 5A battle on Sports Radio, ESPN 1420 and ESPN1420.com. On News Talk 96.5, KPEL FM tonight. We got the Lafayette High Barb game, and on Planet Radio tonight, that's 105.1. We have the Lafayette Christian and Gator matchup tonight. So 4 big ones for you tonight.
And you can follow all the action on AcadianaPostgame.com, including up-to-the-minute live real-time scoring. Steve, as always, we appreciate it.
It's been your pleasure.
It has indeed. Brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, your Friday football forecast.